50 win.
We're ready. This is guys in the race.
Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you very much for coming. This is the team announcement for Namibia to play France. On the table we have JC Craven on your far left, and then Louis van der Westhuizen, captain Johan Deysel, head coach Alice Welwitschias, Adrian Ludik, and Jacques Turon. We will be taking questions from the media after head coach Alice reads out his team, and for any translation and any French-speaking journalists, we do have colleagues that will help us.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Gives me once again great pleasure to announce the Namibia team to play France, host nation. Number 1, Desideri Setti. Number 2, Louis van der Westhuizen, vice captain. 3, Arnos Kutsia. 4, Adrian Ludik. 6, Max Kachicheko. 7, Johan Retief. 8, number 8, Prince Huasep. Number 9, Jacques Theron. 10, Cliven Loubser. 11, JC Greiling. 12, Danko Berger. 13, Johan Deysel, captain. 14, Gershon Mouton. 15, Andre van der Berg. Replacements are 16, Robert Norkia. 17, Jason Bernarde. Number 18, Chikufu Aitembu. 19, PJ van Lille. 20, Richard Hardwick. 21, Ulla Blau. 22, Okeno Isaacs. And 23, Divan Rousseau. That's the team.
If you do have any questions, please just your name and the media what you come from.
I think I think I left out number 4 there. Mahe Pisa Jericho. Okay. Well done.
You want to go first?
Thank you.
Alistair Miles, Harrison ITV. You've moved things around there with your selection. What's the thinking behind it for this game?
Firstly, it's important to give every player coming to a World Cup, an opportunity to play. I think our mindset was building towards the last game and see what we, the players, can offer and get to our best possible team for the last game. It's important that it is a great experience for a lot of youngsters and players playing their first World Cup, so it's important to give them a run as well. That is one of our objectives, to make sure we grow depth in our squad, and especially against Tier 1 nations. We don't have the opportunity to play against Tier 1 nations on a regular basis, so it's important for us in that regard.
I totally understand why you would concentrate on the last game. How difficult is it to manage that, though, within the context of the tournament? Because clearly France are going to provide a very stern test.
No, they have selected possible very, very strong side against us. I think, from the French point of view, and I think they must have taken a leaf out of New Zealand's book to keep building in the pool phases and play your strongest possible team. So yes, the French selected their best team, which is a great test for our players, obviously, and to play against the best players, to point. We always watch him on television, and Toby Jacques' first start, Theron, playing against Dupont. So it's a brilliant opportunity and a nice challenge for him, and something especially playing the French at home. I mean, they almost say crowd would be behind the French team, we know that. So, it'll just take the player, in terms of the play personally, to a next level, and hopefully we can get the best out of each and every player.
I mean, there have been moments so far. I mean, obviously the results have not gone your way in a quite marked way on the scoreboard, but within those games there have been clear moments of, if I may say, progression, but that's obviously for you to say to me. But the try, and then there were moments of stress against New Zealand when their defence was being pushed very hard. What is going to cause that step to make those promising situations turn into points on the board?
Yeah, you're spot on. I mean, when we did our analysis and we looked at the plan, how we wanted to play, against New Zealand and this tier 1 side, to break their rhythm in a way. The plan was actually right. If I say the plan was right, and I can substantiate by saying we had 12 opportunities in their 22, and I compare how many opportunities the French had, only 7. So we must be doing something right, and you are 100% right when you say there are moments of brilliance and progression, and it's a matter of taking those opportunities. From the 12, we only converted 3 into better points and pressure there. So we spoke about that, and as a group of senior players, we addressed that, and hopefully we will see a bit of improvement this week. If we get the opportunity with our kicking game and other forms of putting pressure on the position to get there, hopefully we can execute and round and finish off better this weekend.
In their way, did Uruguay show you the way a little bit against France? Because they did have the ability to convert and show that composure, if you like, that you're looking for your side in the 22.
Yeah, 100%. I think they were fairly simple in what they've done, and they came out of the blocks very quickly, and that is one thing I must say about Uruguay. They tried to have a fast start and getting points on the board, and I think they were 7 points up, scored the first try, and just got stuck into the French guys. I think obviously with the team that French played against Uruguay, it wasn't a team that has gelled completely. It's always a case of your I wouldn't call it second string, but your depth players don't get enough time to prepare together as a team, and all of a sudden they must get that chance to perform together. So I think Uruguay has learnt us how they dealt with the French kicking game as well. We took a few tips from that, and I think our plan is good enough. If we can put it together, we will definitely have moments where we'll put the French under pressure.
Great, thank you. Wish you
well.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Kodze. Sorry, a question in French. Vous avez joué un jour après la France la semaine dernière, donc vous avez eu un jour de récupération en moins avant votre match de cette semaine. Comment vous avez géré cette période de 6 jours seulement, et quand est-ce que vous êtes arrivé à Marseille concrètement? Comment se déroulent les entraînements entre les 2 matchs? Thanks.
So you played 1 day after France, so you have 1 day recovery less than France. How do you take this into consideration in the preparation, and what happened since your arrival in Marseille?
Look, we only start with the second question first. We got here about an hour ago, so we've got a training session this afternoon, and some of the players and non-playing reserves, they will go to a coaching clinic, and this is what's going to happen this afternoon. So we will have a training session, and the non-playing reserves will go host a coaching clinic with one or other school, I'm not sure, or schoolboys, where that would be, but you can get that information from Dinla. The first question was...
I just translate the...
Okay, sorry.
Donc, l'équipe est arrivée il y a 1 heure à Marseille, donc on est juste en train de défaire nos valises, on va dire. Mais on a un entraînement prévu cet après-midi avec tous les joueurs et les remplaçants du match. Donc ça va être le début de la préparation cet après-midi. Et il y a une partie des joueurs, donc ceux qui ne sont pas sélectionnés pour le match, qui ont un entraînement ouvert à l'école de rugby locale. And
yes, the
recovery.
Yes. Look, we knew from the start we will have a 6-day turnaround time, and it's not conducive. I think a team like New Zealand, they will have 12 days before they play their next match. It's not comparing to them, but it's tough. It is tough. It's never easy, and we look to find ways to recover the players. I mean, for argument's sake, or for example, yesterday was pouring with rain in Aix-les-Bains, and we had an indoor session. It was very effective, But that is one way of, I've got the players off the field. I think the players themselves are very responsible with the whole recovery process. We've got a lot of ways of, getting them fresh. And I think they'll be fresh for this weekend. It's such a short time to prepare. And I think the most important thing is to feel the team that is really fresh for the weekend.
Donc ils savaient depuis le début que ce serait pas facile et qu'il y aurait ce jour de décalage. Il y a certaines équipes comme la Nouvelle-Zélande qui ont 12 jours de repos entre certains matchs. Donc on ne peut pas forcément comparer, mais on trouve les meilleurs moyens pour leur donner une bonne récupération. Par exemple, hier il pleuvait avec Séblin, donc l'équipe a organisé une session d'entraînement en intérieur pour quand même pouvoir se préparer. Les joueurs aussi sont responsables eux-mêmes dans leur process de récupération, et même si c'est court, ils trouvent le temps, eux, de faire leur récupération avec l'équipe aussi qui les encadre.
Coach Nick said from Thomson Reuters. If you'll just indulge me with these questions, please. You talk about progressing there in Tier 2 nations, progressing against a side like a France or New Zealand. I believe that World Rugby have invested a lot of money in helping the Tier 2 nations to prepare for this World Cup. Can you just tell us a little bit about what exactly or how that help was, what exactly they did provide to you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, as you know, we're completely amateur union. We rely on club players back home, the local boys. And then obviously we've got about 18 players playing in different leagues all over the world. So just from a strength and conditioning point of view, they've supplied us with new equipment coming to the World Cup. We've looked at our daily training environment where players could have had meals in the morning and throughout the day. We have had a full-time physio employed. Myself as head coach is there on a full-time basis as well. And then of late we've got an analyst with us and a nutritionist. So I must be honest, and we're really thankful for that, because that's something that as a nation of 2.6 million, finances should always be sort of a challenge. And I just, we will have a intervention in December about the whole thing around Tier 2 nations. The next step obviously is to make sure that we get good competition and play Tier 1 nations at a more regular basis.
Yeah. And I think we've seen in this World Cup how Fiji have progressed playing in Super Rugby with their Fijian Drua team. I know you do play or have played previously in South Africa. Is that really a step forward, do you see as well?
100%. I think it's a great example that Fiji had to start somewhere. And what you see now is a result of continuous support over the years. And we hope also to build a franchise where, like Chile is doing at the moment, and Uruguay playing in a SLAC competition, in the Americas competition, where they play as a franchise, which is a higher level than just local competition. And with Fiji, it's really sort of fairy tale. To see how those guys have improved at set piece, which is just a purely strength and conditioning thing, and obviously with resources of coaches going in there and support. Yeah, so that I would say is the way going forward for a team like Namibia as well.
Yeah. This last one for me, there has been talk in future World Cups of perhaps having some sort of shield competition for teams that don't progress to the quarterfinals. Yeah. Is that something you would support, just to get more games at an event like this?
I think for us at this point in time, we'd support anything really just to get to play on the international stage. However they want to structure it, people must understand there's two ways of looking at it. You want to develop and grow the game, and obviously you want strength versus strength. So to find a middle way is probably, I don't know how they're going to structure it, because it is important to develop the game. If that is one of all rugby's most primary objectives.
Thanks, Coach.